guys, it's Anthony. Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to talk about something that I feel is super important, and that's the delusional quality that top performing salespeople have to have. This isn't unique to just sales. This applies to business or sports or art, and there's awesome parallels between sports and business and sales that I really love, and I kind of look for those things. I look for the parallels in real life and how they pertain to my day-to-day business as well. We're going to go over them in this video, but the delusional quality that top salespeople have to have. You have to be able to prime your mind that every single person you talk to, whether it's over the phone or in person, is going to be a deal. Now, the math suggests that that's not true, right? And depending on what you're selling, your conversion rate will be dependent upon that and your store and the processes in the market. Like all of these things come into effect and play a part, but we as salespeople, we're the ones that can be the X factor. We can determine how big of a piece of pie that we want to have, right? We can have our cake and eat it too, and how big of a piece of cake that is totally up to us, but we have to have that delusional quality where we convince ourselves that every single customer that we interact with can be a deal, and we're going to just move the needle and move the ball downfield until they are one, right? They're not all going to come into the funnel with the same temperature, right? So I like to use a scale of 0 to 100. And I say that every customer you interact with, none of them are a 0. They have to be at least a 1, because if they weren't a 1 on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being they take delivery of a new vehicle, like they're a deal. If they weren't a 1, they wouldn't be talking to you. So there's some level of interest. Now, they can go to a 0 really quick, but we want to move them to a 2 or to a 5 or to a 10, to a 20. Continue to move them down the funnel by putting different pieces of the puzzle together. But we have to have the delusional quality that they're going to be a deal no matter what. That failure, that building in this mechanism of, oh, if it doesn't work out, it's okay because not all of them do. You have to remove that, right? We have to remove that reality from our mind and be delusional. We've all heard the old adage before that in baseball, if you're a 300 hitter, meaning if you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, right? If you're a 300 hitter, you make it to the Hall of Fame. And that the other side of that coin is that 7 out of 10 times you're going to fail, right? You're going to fail more than twice the amount of times that you actually succeed. So that alone, those stats are real, and those stats exist in sales as well. But the baseball player, he doesn't go up to bat with the mindset of, okay, there's a 70% chance that I'm going to fail right now, so let me just go and give him my best shot. No, he goes up to bat and he says, I'm going to knock this ball right out of the park. I'm going to hit the leather off this ball. I'm going to crush this over the fence. Like, he says those things to himself. His mind, his body, his energy all suggests that, right? And if he strikes out the at-bat before, right, and that would be analogous to if you don't make a deal, you don't go and change what you know is tried and true and works, right? So if he's a 300 hitter, he doesn't go up after a strikeout and go, all right, maybe I should change my stance right now. Maybe I should lower my elbow. He doesn't do that. He just goes up and does exactly what he knows how to do. There's a great story, baseball story that I love. Manny Ramirez, one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time. At the time, this is like over 10 years ago, he was playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So he's playing for the Dodgers. He's in a big-time slump. He's like, out of his last 30 at-bats, he has like 3 hits or something crazy. They just play a doubleheader, so they just played 2 games. He gets no hits in the first game, no hits in the second game. He had like 10 at-bats. So he's in the locker room, he's taking off his spikes. A reporter comes up to him and says, Manny, you got a few seconds? He says, absolutely. He says, what do you think about today? Manny says, today was great. Well, they had won both games, so the team won both games. He got no hits. He said, today was great. We won both games. We're on a winning streak right now. Everything's great. And the reporter says, yeah, but what about you? You went 0 for 10, and your last 30 at-bats, you have like 3 hits. You're in a big-time slump. What about you? Manny said, at the end of the season, I'm going to be batting 300 anyway, so who cares? It's all going to come out into the wash. He had faith, and he understands. The math suggests at the end of the year, if he does what he knows how to do, he's going to be batting 300. So why get all caught up in that slump? And we have to do that as well. So we have to be delusional, or we have to prime our mind that every single person is going to be a deal. Every at-bat is going to be hit. We also have to have short-term memory when we trip and fall and we don't make a deal, when we get the rejections, when we get the no's. We have to have a short-term memory in the deal itself, right? They're going to no. Here's one piece of advice I'm going to give you. just know that every single customer is going to say no, right? Just know that every single customer is going to say no. They're going to say it early and they're going to say it often. Once you know that, once you feel that, it kind of rolls right off your shoulders. Like it slides off you. You slip the punch, right? Like just know they're going to say no. That's okay. You have to have the delusional quality that no matter how many times they say no, you're eventually going to get a yes, and then another yes, and then another yes, until there's no more no's to be found and only yeses. We're going to practice that in other videos. We're going to go over it. There's a zillion different ways to get a zillion different yeses from your customer, and it's about kind of putting the pieces of those yeses into the puzzle and ultimately making the picture finalized, and that's a car deal, right? So putting the pieces in place, building the puzzle, painting the picture with yeses, but it has to come from a place of delusional qualities that no matter what, I'm going to succeed, I'm not going to fail, this customer's going to say yes, they're going to be a car deal, it doesn't matter how grim it looks, doesn't matter how negative it looks, I'm going to find a way, I trust my skill set. Now, that quality only comes from confidence, right? So confidence is a precursor to that quality. A precursor to confidence is knowledge tied in with experience. I think knowledge alone can only get you so far, right? Like you can read 1,000 books on how to lift weights, but unless you actually go and lift them, there's no muscle memory to be had, right? There's no experience. You need to work these muscles out, right? The sales muscles. You got to work them out. You got to work them out in real life. You got to go out there and let the bullets fly, right? At some point, you got to do the thing. You can't just read about it. So you have to do the thing. So the knowledge and the experience tied together, right, will lead to confidence, and then eventually that delusional quality. The delusional quality priming of the mind also becomes much easier after the knowledge and the experience and confidence. Once you start to have a sense of worthiness, which you should always have. In my morning journal, I write my affirmations. First thing I put is worthy of great things. As you start to put in the time and the blood, sweat, and tears and that sweat equity, right, and that practice and honing your skills and sharpening your tools, you start to develop a sense of worthiness where you say, no, I deserve great things. I deserve to win. I'm not going to lose. And that's when the magic really starts to happen. So to be a top producer, a top performer in sales, in business, in art, in sports, you have to have a delusional quality that no and failure is just out of the realm of possibilities. It's only yeses and it's only success. Hey, my friend, thank you for watching. And if you want to see videos just like this one, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the love and support. And don't forget, leave some comments down below. I'm looking forward to all of your interaction and feedback, and I can't wait to bring you more videos just like this one. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.